Welcome guys to my page on Facebook. If you're watching from YouTube, welcome anyways. So we'll be talking about Iran and Israel, the military power strength, who will win this war if there is a war, all-out war, okay? Just all-out war. Who will win? Now, Iran has 600,000 active military personnel right now. These are all active. Now, compared to this, Israel has only 170,000 active. Now, Iran has 350,000 reservists, and compared to this, Israel has 465. But even though this number is bigger for Israel, but take a look at Iran's paramilitary, 220,000, and Israel doesn't have any. Israel doesn't have any paramilitary, but they have 465 reservists compared to 350 with Iran. Now, Iran's population is huge. Population does matter, because if there is a guerrilla warfare, or if there is a street-to-street battle, then obviously the citizen of that country will pitch in and fight, just like what is happening right now in Ukraine. Everybody is taking arms. Compared to 90 million population in Iran, you have only 10 million in Israel. So the population is very, very limited, very, very less. Now, compared to Iran, Israel cannot win this war. If there is a war tomorrow, all-out war, excluding, we do not want to include Russia and US yet. If there is a war between Iran and Israel, Iran will win, most likely because of these numbers. If you take just the numbers, obviously, we will have to also consider the Air Force, Navy, and all of those things, but we're not talking about those things today. If you just use the personnel, the military reserve they have, Iran is much stronger. But who will win the war if US and Russia gets involved? Now, when we talk about US and Russia, we want to talk about the F-35. And Russia has Su-57. So F-35 fighter jets is equivalent of Russia's Su-57. US has 630 of them, okay? F-35. This can change the game. How many Russia has? Well, according to one report, they only have right now 10 in service. However, Russia has other Su model, because Su-57 is the 5th generation fighter jet. They only have 10, but Su, for example, 35, Su-10, Russia has total of this model plane, the downgraded version, because this is the upgraded version, equivalent of F-35 of US. US has 630, they have only 10. But in their arsenal, they have at least 100 of these Su series fighter jets. If you combine all of this, what we understand is that the war will be devastating, obviously, but looks like US has the upper hand over all of these other countries. However, this is where the kicker comes. Russia has how many? Almost 6,000 nuclear weapons. And US has, I think, 5,100 or something nuke. So if it does go to nuclear war, then of course Russia has more than US, but doesn't matter if you have 6,000 or 10 or 20, just one can do the job, because today's nuclear weapon, they're 100 times more powerful than the one you have seen in Nagasaki. So we will not go to the nuclear war yet, but if you think about just a conventional warfare, again, we cannot ever say who will win, because it all depends on so many other variables. From the look of it, Iran is very, very strong compared to Israel. They can easily annihilate Israel if they want to, and we have seen those ballistic missile attacks on Israel, how terrified Israel was. But if you take US into the equation, then it will be World War III, and this will not be won by anybody. So the humanity will come to an end. So this is what we find from this data, from these numbers, that this war, if fought, Iran will win. But if US and Russia gets involved, we will not see the world that we see today anymore.